Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
This episode is brought to you by Experian. Are you paying for subscriptions you don't use, but can't find the time or energy to cancel them? Experian could cancel unwanted subscriptions for you, saving you an average of $270 per year and plenty of time. Download the Experian app. Results will vary. Not all subscriptions are eligible. Savings are not guaranteed. Paid membership with connected payment account required.
A milestone moment creates a beautiful memory for years to come. And now's the time to celebrate it with 35% off select pieces at Blue Nile. Blue Nile makes your most valuable moments sparkle with jewelry gifts of the highest quality offered at the best price. You'll also find expert guidance and the level of convenience you'd expect from the world's leading online jeweler. Right now, take advantage of 35% off select pieces at BlueNile.com. That's BlueNile.com. BlueNile.com.
Think you know the Brooks Ghost? Think again. Introducing the all-new, better-than-ever Ghost 16. Now with nitrogen-infused cushioning for lightweight, supreme softness that feels good every step, every street, every single day. So go ahead, take your daily joyride in the all-new nitrogen-infused Ghost 16. It'll turn your everyday miles into everyday endorphins. Let's run there. Head to brooksrunning.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network. You can follow us on our YouTube channel as well at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined occasionally by my football gurus, Paul and Ian. Let's get to it. Welcome back, Ram fans. Episode 490, creeping up on number 500. Hard to believe. We're going to get to some Rams and NFL news. We'll have a couple of items to share from training camp, Rams' first day in pads, but we're going to save most of that for our upcoming roundtable. Paul, Ian, and I will get really deep into what's going on over there. Before we do that, episode 490, let's talk about a player who wore number 90. How about the big defensive tackle, Sean Gilbert? A Parade Magazine All-American in high school and the USA Today Prep Defensive Player of the Year, went on to the University of Pittsburgh, an All-American in 1991, drafted by the Rams in the first round, the 3rd pick overall in 1992. Who was selected before him, by the way? Steve Emptman and Quentin Coriat. And you know what? I was looking at this first round. This was a pretty sad draft class that year, 1992. No player drafted that year has made it to the Hall of Fame. Top 2 guys, probably Troy Vincent and Jimmy Smith. And you know, this draft was so bad, this draft class. I did a Google search for the worst draft classes, and sure enough, 1992 led the pack. Pretty bad year. So Gilbert spends 4 years with the Rams. Then the Rams brought over Leslie O'Neal, and the Rams traded Gilbert. The Rams at that time had Kevin Carter, DeMarco Farr, Jimmy Jones, and the newly added O'Neal. So the Rams send him to the Washington Redskins in 1996 for a 6th overall pick, which the Rams used to draft running back Lawrence Phillips. So Gilbert ended his Ram career with 60 games played, 60 starts, 24 career sacks. And where is Sean Gilbert now? He is the head football coach for Livingston College in North Carolina. Some random bits here to share with you before I get to our training camp update. Start off with something fun here. This new Deadpool movie. There's a Rams reference in it, and it's pretty funny. Deadpool in a car with the Wolverine, and I'm no expert on these characters, so bear with me. The Wolverine is wearing some type of yellowish blue outfit, and Deadpool turns to him and says something to the effect of, "Never let a friend leave home looking like they're fighting crime for the Los Angeles Rams." Rams get a shout out in a big time movie, kind of cool. Came across an article by Charles Robinson of Yahoo Sports, and he's saying that Cameron Curl could spend some time at slot corner for the Rams, and this isn't something I had considered. Checked with my football gurus, Paul and Ian, and sure enough, they think that is a good fit for him. He has played that in the past, apparently. Just throws another wrench into those of us trying to figure out what the Rams secondary is going to look like. Nickel, dime packages, so much flexibility. That's a good thing. Just makes it really difficult for us to figure out where the Rams are going with this, and also makes it tough for opposing offenses to know what the Rams are thinking, because remember, probably not going to see a bunch of these guys in the preseason, so it'll be a surprise for the Detroit Lions come Sunday night, I'm thinking. Bucky Brooks had an article out there, 8 NFL teams with the best championship foundations entering this season, and he had a scorecard, a matrix, so to speak, of what that foundation should look like. 1, a quarterback, big-time quarterback. 3, offensive playmakers. So the Rams had the big-time quarterback, and they clearly have 3 offensive playmakers, if not more. Do they have 3 quality offensive linemen? I would say yes. I would even say 4. Now, the last 2 items are defensive-oriented, 2 pass rushers. Well, I don't know if we have 2 proven pass rushers, unless you're counting Byron Young and Kobe Turner. Somewhat ambiguous there, somewhat subjective. I would say yes. If you're a fan from another part of the country, you might say no. And then 3 back 7 playmakers, and I think we fall a little bit short there right now. Some of these experts, including Bucky Brooks, just need to see more before they can say the Rams check that box. But if you think Cameron Curl, Quentin Lake, and maybe Trey White have the potential to be back 7 playmakers, and Darius Williams as well, then the Rams check that box as well. Again, very subjective. Is Darius Williams a back 7 playmaker? You tell me. I think the Seattle Seahawks and DK Metcalf would say he is. Hey, let's look at some current betting odds associated with the Rams. Then I'm going to give you some unqualified, ill-advised betting advice, which you should entirely ignore. Over-under for the Rams win total currently at 8.5. You want to bet on Kyren Williams leading the league in rushing yards? You get 12-1 odds. Most regular season receptions, Cooper Kupp is at 40-1. Coach of the Year, our Sean McVay, 25-1 odds. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jared Verse, 12-1 odds. Braden Fisk, 40-1. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Blake Corum, 50-1. And most points by a kicker, Joshua Carty, 80-1. Now, let's go over these real quickly and tell you how I feel about them. Rams over under 8.5. Man, I'm taking the over on that. That's a really solid bet in my opinion. Most rushing yards, Kyren, 12-1. You know, he's probably going to be in the top 6 or 7 if he stays healthy. 12-1 is pretty good odds, but you get guys like Christian McCaffrey, who prior to last season had been very injury prone. So Williams, 12-1, not a bad bet. Not sure I would make it though. Most regular season receptions, Cooper Kupp 40-1. Hey, take a flyer on that. Why not? He's just got so many guys out there competing for catches with him, including most notably Puka Nacua, of course. Coach of the Year, Sean McVay, 25-1. I don't know, if he didn't get it last year, what does he have to do to win it this year? The Rams are not going to surprise anybody. But if they bounce back and, win this division, he's got a shot. But are they that good? Are they good enough to win the division? That's pretty much what you have to be thinking. The Rams have to win the NFC West for Sean McVay to have a shot at Coach of the Year. So I'm probably passing on that. 25-1, pretty good odds though. Defensive Rookie of the Year verse 12-1, Fisk 40-1. I'm probably going to pass on both of those. There's a lot of competition for that. But Fisk, those odds are pretty good. And from what I hear about him in camp, maybe I want a little piece of that action. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Blake Corum 50-1. I don't like that bet because you're basically betting Kyren Williams is not going to be there, not going to be available. I don't even want to talk about it, so I'm not going to talk about that bet anymore. The one I like the most points by a kicker, Joshua Carty, 80-1. Think about that. Think how much a $100 bet would pay on that. And if the Rams put up points like we think they're going to, and if you think this defense is going to struggle just a bit, Rams are going to have the pedal to the metal even more. I kind of like that bet.
A milestone moment creates a beautiful memory for years to come. And now's the time to celebrate it with 35% off select pieces at Blue Nile. Blue Nile makes your most valuable moments sparkle with jewelry gifts of the highest quality offered at the best price. You'll also find expert guidance and the level of convenience you'd expect from the world's leading online jeweler. Right now, take advantage of 35% off select pieces at BlueNile.com. That's BlueNile.com. BlueNile.com.
You know, I probably have about 30 minutes game time my entire life on Madden, but I understand what these ratings mean, the Madden ratings, and these top 15 Madden wide receivers for this year. Something doesn't smell right. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp both omitted. Now, Cooper Kupp I can understand, but if you're telling me Puka Nacua shouldn't be listed in the top 15 on Madden, I don't know, man, not getting it. Now, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs. Hey, there's some really good receivers here. Those are the first 8. I get it. Not going to put up a big fight about those. Next up, Brandon Ayuk and Mike Evans. Hey, Puka's right there with those guys. And he should definitely be ahead of Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. Hey, great receiver. Doesn't get the respect he deserves, but ahead of Puka, not buying it. And then DeAndre Hopkins and Terry McLaurin, all ahead of Puka Nacua. But it gets worse, Ram fans. Other receivers ahead of Nacua on the Madden ratings. Michael Pittman Jr., Chris Godwin, Christian Kirk, Zay Flowers, Courtland Sutton, and Gabe Davis. Puka is the 32nd ranked wide receiver. And, you know, my special assistant has always been a little bit suspicious about how Rams are assessed on Madden. And our theory is the head honcho over there might be a 49er fan. Meanwhile, Puka's peers vote him the 33rd best player in the National Football League. That's all I'm going to say about that. Get through some training camp notes, and these aren't all from Monday's practice, just a smattering of news from Rams camp. Matthew Stafford did sit out the first day of practice in pads. Got to give the guy some rest. Darius Williams still nursing that hamstring. And according to Sean McVay, they're going to take it a week at a time. No reason to rush him back. He's a pretty seasoned veteran at this point. It would be a bigger deal if it was a rookie. He is not, so just got to get this guy ready for opening day. And I missed this, but Jimmy G has been hooking up with Xavier Smith on some long passes. And, 2 or 3 months ago, I was talking up Smith's chances of making this team, especially due to his potential as a returner. Kind of forgotten about him. Haven't talked about him when I rack and stack the wide receivers, at least recently. Maybe we need to start giving him some consideration. They had some special teams work on Saturday, late in the day. Ethan Evans, looking like Ethan Evans, just booming the ball. Great hang time. And then Joshua Carty and Tanner Brown took turns with field goal attempts. I have no report on how that went. I wish I was there. I wish I had an inkling of how these guys looked. Nothing to report, unfortunately. And hey, one thing that I thought was really cool, and another thing the Rams are so good at, they bring Larry David into camp, my Curb Your Enthusiasm hero. Love that show. Love Larry David's humor. He's a local guy. I think he's out of Encino. One of the creators and writers of Seinfeld, obviously, Larry David. And I'm thinking he's a Rams fan. Welcome aboard, Larry. Hey, a good day to revisit my roster locks. I shared 32 a few weeks ago, 32 roster locks, and I would bet my left pinky that these guys will be on the final roster barring injury or trade. Let's run these down by position group and see if I have any changes to make. Quarterback Matthew Stafford and Stetson Bennett. I'm not including Jimmy G because he will not be on this roster on opening day. He will join the team week 3, we presume, costing someone else a roster spot. I'm still rolling with the 3 running backs, Kyren Williams, Blake Corum, and Boston Scott. Tempted to move Ronnie Rivers into the lock column, but hey, one day of great reports isn't enough for me. Tight end, you know what? Really tempted to add Hunter Long to this group. I got Colby Parkinson and Davis Allen only. Tyler Higbee obviously won't be on this opening day roster. Is Hunter Long ready to join this locked-in roster? I'm not ready to do it yet. Not ready to pull the trigger. Wide receivers, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Demarcus Robinson, and Jordan Whittington. I had a few guys waiting in the wings. Tutu Atwell. I am adding Tutu Atwell to this locked-in roster as of today. Tutu Atwell joins my 32. I'm up to 33 now. Offensive line, Steve Avila, Kevin Dotson, Rob Havenstein, Jonah Jackson, and Alaric Jackson. That was all I had, just the 5 starters. I don't know what I was thinking. Joseph Noteboom belongs on this list. My roster lock, so I'm adding Noteboom. So I've added Atwell and Noteboom. We're up to 34 here. Can't take anyone off. That's against the spirit of this. 3 special teams guys, Ethan Evans, Joshua Cardi, Alex Ward. Defensive line, Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, Bobby Brown, and Tyler Davis. There's a few guys off this list right now, Murchison Durden and Deshaun Johnson. Johnson is the one that probably belongs on here, but I'm going to wait another week on him. Edge rushers, I have 4, Jared Verse, Michael Hoyt, Byron Young, and Brennan Jackson. The other 3 guys I think are fighting for 2 spots, Nick Hampton, O'Shawn Mathis, and Keir Thomas. In all likelihood, it's going to be Hampton and Mathis, but I'm not locking them in yet. And, remember, when I say a roster lock, I mean a true roster lock. I'm betting a body part here. That's how serious I am here. Would you bet your left pinky O'Shawn Mathis is going to be on this roster? Probably not. Then I have Darius Williams, Kobe Durant, Cameron Curl, Cameron Kinchins, and Quentin Lake. So 5 guys from the secondary. And that got me to 32. Now I had left Trey White off this list because I wasn't sure about his availability, if he was going to be ready on day 1. But I think he is going to be on this roster day 1 for sure. Even if he's not quite 100%, Trey White is another roster lock for me. So we've added Tutu, Joseph Noteboom, and Trey White. We are now up to 35 roster locks. Couple guys right there on the bubble, Ronnie Rivers, Deshaun Johnson. We'll probably get to them next week. And, I'm not even including Trey Tomlinson, Russ Yeast, and a couple of these rookies, Leviston and Limmer. Really wanted to add Limmer, but I'm going to wait on that as well. There you have it. We're up to 35 roster locks here at the end of July. Before we wrap things up here, I wanted to remind you, I wanted to reach out to all you Ram fans one more time. Please join me for a Rams fan rap session. We've hit Ram fans from Mexico, the state of Washington, and South Carolina. Jump on our YouTube channel with me and talk about your years as a Rams fan. It's a lot of fun. Send me an email at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com and we'll get you on the show. that's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.
I'm Victoria Cash. Thanks for calling the Lucky Land Hotline. If you feel like you do the same thing every day, press 1. If you're ready to have some serious fun for the chance to redeem some serious prizes, press 2. We heard you loud and clear. So go to LuckyLandSlots.com right now and play over 100 social casino-style games for free. Get lucky today at LuckyLandSlots.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.